Hey everybody, this is George from DinosaurGeorge.com. I am so sorry that it's taken me so long to get back to answering these questions. For those of you that don't know, I own a traveling museum and I travel to elementary schools pretty much all over Texas for now, but we'll branch out into other states hopefully in the next year or two. This traveling museum has become huge, not just huge because it's a big museum, but because it's becoming very popular. And because of that, it's keeping me on the road almost 5 days a week now. I'm pretty much traveling nonstop. But it's great because the museum is designed to go into elementary schools and really to let children who may otherwise not get the opportunity to see things like this, to get a chance to experience it. I suspect that this year alone, we will probably have close to 60,000 students will get a chance to see this exhibit. And of many of those, this may be the only opportunity they ever have. So for those of you that have written to me time and time again, and I'm just not able to answer your question, I apologize, but I hope you guys understand that there's a good reason for it, and that is because I'm out there reaching so many children who love dinosaurs but have never had the chance to see them. So let's get right into this one. This first question comes from Jose from Guadalajara, Jalisco, Mexico. He says, hello, Mr. Blassing. Jose, thank you so very much for referring to me as Mr., but let me tell you, I am not offended when you call me George or Dinosaur George or DG, but I really do appreciate the courtesy. So please, Jose, call me George or DG or Dinosaur George, whatever you like. I was hoping you could share your thoughts on a question that's had a friend and I in a stalemate for a while. Don't you love those guys that you dig in so hard with your opinion that nobody's willing to give any room? It's about Baluar Bondoc. It's so amazing to us that a raptor with 4 sickle claws was found. However, we just can't agree as to why it had such stumpy legs compared to most dromaeosaurs. Okay, for those of you that may not be familiar with this dinosaur, it is a dinosaur, I think it was found in Romania. I'm almost sure it was found in Romania. It's a member of the raptor family. Dromaeosaurus is the proper term, Jose. Thank you for using that. Raptors is the nickname. This is a dromaeosaur that has 2 sickle claws on each foot versus just the one, as the typical dromaeosaur would have. Now, the second one is not as big and pronounced as the first, but it's still absolutely a sickle claw. So his question is, my friend says it has the stumpy legs because Baluar was likely a scavenger and didn't have to chase down prey. I believe, Jose is saying, I believe that legs would have been robust and strong to deliver a stronger blow with those claws. So it was an ambush hunter, or its prey just wasn't that fast itself. Thank you for your time. You're awesome. Well, Jose, I think you're awesome. I think this is a brilliant question. You know, when I look at prehistoric life and I look at things like claws or unusual appendages to the body, or things that are not normal, I should say, many people immediately dismiss that as something that's not necessarily an effective tool, that it's a remnant of an earlier ancestor or a predecessor who had something that was. I'm of the belief that if it's on you, you use it. Now, we may not fully understand the function of it, but I believe if you've got 2 sickle claws on your foot, you are absolutely using those. And the reason for those stumpy legs is, I agree with you, Jose. I think the shorter leg gave a much more powerful kick. Raptors, dromaeosaurs, were kind of caught on pretty quick. Dinosaurs that use their hands as weapons, you have limited strength in your arms. You have limited strength to reach out and scratch and claw because the musculature of the arm, especially on members of the dromaeosaur family, are not that robust. Dromaeosaurs figured out the biggest muscle on the body, or the most effective muscle on the body, is the big thigh muscle, the one that can really add some punch, or in this case, some kick. So I think that those short, stubby legs may have been more effective for delivering a harder kick and therefore a deeper cut into a potential victim. Now, could it be possible that they were scavengers? Of course, scavenging is a very natural thing for all predators. But looking at the body design of Baluar, I believe that he is a predator because raptors dromaeosaurs are really designed to be predatory, and I think he probably would have been more of an ambush predator and would have had shorter legs, which might have relegated him to not be as fast, but he didn't need to be, because once he caught you, you're in big trouble. It's a very good question, Jose. Okay, Chris from Wausau, Wisconsin. Chris, thank you, first of all, for putting in parentheses how to pronounce your city. I appreciate that very much. Hi, DG. It's Dino Chris from YouTube in central Wisconsin. Dino Chris, I've watched some of your YouTube videos. I like them very much. I recently been to the Science Museum in Minnesota. I got a question about Allosaurus. What is the largest Allosaurus specimen that you know? Thank you for answering my questions and have a great day. Thank you, Chris, for the courtesy, and it's my pleasure to answer your questions. The biggest Allosaurus specimen that I've ever seen, and unfortunately I cannot remember whether it had a nickname or a number. They always have a number or series, something that identifies them. I saw this when I was in Utah. Now, I only saw the cast of the skull, but I saw this enormous Allosaurus skull at a cast at a friend of mine. He and his family own a business that they replicate dinosaurs, and they sell the skeletons to museums. He had an Allosaurus skull that was enormous, much bigger than anyone that I had ever seen before. I apologize for not knowing who is the biggest, but for me, it was the biggest one I've ever seen. Now, you hear talk about the dinosaur called Big Al. He's a big dinosaur. He's a big Allosaurus. But I believe this skull that I saw may have even exceeded Big Al's size. So, Chris, I just don't have the absolute answer. I'm so sorry, my friend. All right, Ashley from San Marcos, Texas, right around the corner from where I live. Dino George, my son is a dinosaur fanatic. Ashley, I know a kid, just like your son. He's 5 years old and even knows what a Pachycephalosaurus is, for crying out loud. That's pretty good. Anyway, he loves your Facebook pages. Well, thank you very much. He also asked me to go see you. So my question is, are you coming to my area anytime soon? It would make his day to meet Dinosaur George. Well, that's very kind of you, Ashley. Let me tell you this, that I am going to be speaking in Pflugerville, Texas. I know that's not real close to you, but that's as close as I'm going to be going that I know of soon. It's for some festival that's open to the public, and I'm going to be there with a small museum exhibit. I hope to meet you and your son, and please tell your son I said hello, and tell him how proud I am that he knows what a Pachycephalosaurus is, because that's a big word even for older children like myself. All right, Sean from Cairns, Queensland, Australia. George, I noticed recently that the skulls of theropod dinosaurs seem to have a fairly standardized design apart from tooth structure and ornamentation. Why do you think that is the case? The reason why I think theropod skulls seem so uniformish is because they're so effective for what they need. It's like a shark. Shark looks like a shark, looks like a shark, other than their head sometimes, because their body design is so well suited for what they do that there's no reason to change that design. And if you do try to change that design, you don't last very long. So theropods are a perfect example of animals that kind of figured out what works. It was an effective way for them to use it, and so therefore there's no reason to change it. So other than, like you said, the tooth configuration and the ornamentation on the skull, and for you young viewers, ornamentation means things that, like think of a Christmas tree and you hang ornaments on it to make it look different. Ornamentation is a word used to describe the skulls. Some have horns, some have bumps, ridges. Think of the blade-like appendage on the nose of a Ceratosaurus. Think of the bumps over the eyes of Allosaurus. Think of the horns on Carnotaurus. Those are examples of ornamentation. Good question, Chris. Sean, Chris. Where did I come up with Chris? Good question, Sean. And again, I'll come to Australia one of these days and we'll have lunch. All right, Noah from Shippensburg, Pennsylvania. Hey, DG, it's your buddy Noah from Facebook. Noah, good to hear from you. Always enjoy hearing from you on Facebook, by the way. I've got two questions. One, I heard a study claiming Allosaurus had a bite only as strong as a leopard. What do you think? And two, have any baby T-Rexes been found? Cheers. Well, Noah, I don't know what that study is because I'm not familiar with it. When you look at the sheer size of Allosaurus and you look at the musculature, I would suppose that his bite force would be considerably more. I saw a study, but I didn't get a chance to finish the whole thing, which drives me crazy. Professor Lawrence Whitmer and his crew out in Ohio did a bunch of studies. I think they did a bunch of studies on the bite force of Allosaurus. And if his result was that it had the bite force only as strong as a leopard, first of all, I would say I can't imagine that. But I will say this, that if that's what he and his crew discovered, they have much, much, much greater knowledge than I do in that. They have access to things that I couldn't even dream of having access. So their opinions, in this case, I would say would be much more accurate than mine. I'm simply making my guess based on the sheer size of the animal and the size of the jaw muscles. And to me, looking at those, I can't imagine. Now, leopard has an incredible bite force, so size doesn't necessarily mean anything. An elephant's big, but it doesn't bite very hard. So maybe it does, but it would be hard for me to believe that. As for baby T-Rexes, you know, over and over I hear people talk about they found a baby Tyrannosaurus, and then you find out that it's just a young one, like a teenager or something like that. I had the chance to look at the bones of Tinker, who was a young Tyrannosaur, and at the time, he was the youngest Tyrannosaurus I think that had ever been discovered. But I have heard some other people claiming that they found some smaller ones. Let me take it back. I did see a jawbone one time, and it was absolutely a Tyrannosaurus Rex. I have no doubt, because of the tooth design, because of the curvature of the serrations, all of that stuff. It's a Tyrannosaurus. It was tiny. It was tiny. Now, that's all they found was the jaw, but it was tiny. But I don't think anybody's ever found any real big ones. All right, James from Essex, England in the UK. Hey, DG, it's James from Facebook. Again, great to hear my friends from Facebook. Love talking to you guys. It's so awesome that you're back doing videos. Thank you, my friend. That's very kind of you, and I'm happy to do it. They teach so many people around the world, and it's lovely that you have taken out more of your time to do it. James, it's my pleasure. Thank you for being so courteous about that. Man, I wish I had more time to do it. Here's my question, if you could. Okay, here's my question. If you could have been it's like I can't read today. If you could have been a consultant on the new Jurassic World, what animals, apart from your favorite Allosaurus, would you love in the movie? And if there was another battle with T-Rex and another dinosaur, who would it be? Keep up the good work. Your pal Jimbo from England. Jimbo, great again. And I think it's cool you call yourself Jimbo because that's a cooler name than James. I just think. Okay. If I had been a consultant, who would I have wanted to see in the new Jurassic World? Well, I would like to see dinosaurs that don't I'd like to see Cryolophosaurus. I would like to see, who else would be kind of cool? I'd like to see a Diplodocus in there. I would like to see Styracosauruses. I love Styracosaurus. I would love to see a variety of dinosaurs that don't get a lot of publicity because it would expose people to more information. But if I saw a fight between a T-Rex and somebody else, you know who it would be now? And this would be based on the most recent announcement. It would be Deinonychus. How wicked would that be? To see Deinonychus with those gigantic arms. And now the newest discovery suggests Deinonychus almost had sort of a hump, a sail. How wicked would that be to see that ostrich-like dinosaur with those gigantic claws get into a fight with a Tyrannosaurus Rex? The cool thing is he could run circles around Rex and Rex could never catch him. All right, that is it for now. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I promise you I'm going to do everything in my power to answer as many of these as I can. If you have a question and you'd like to send it to me, go to my website, dinosaurgeorge.com, and click on the Ask Dinosaur George page, fill out the form and submit it. For all of you young people out there, I hope you continue to practice your reading because reading is very important. And by the way, I've got exciting news talking about reading. My first chapter book will be coming out, I hope, by December 2013, which is only a month away from today. More information will follow on that. It will be a book for young readers, not little tiny kids, but I'm talking about anybody that reads kids' chapter books. So I hope if you practice your reading, you'll be able to read my book and enjoy it. So for everybody out there, please continue to use courtesy. I appreciate it very much. One of the things I love about those of you that post comments on this YouTube is you are always very courteous. You may not share the same opinion that I have or others have, but I appreciate the fact that you guys are courteous enough not to attack them because they have a different opinion, but that you're willing to post your opinion and embrace your ideas. So I appreciate that very much. Thank you guys so much. I'll roll out a couple of more of these today, so expect a few more to be posted within hours of each other. Thanks, guys. I'll see you in a bit.